Hey guys, how are ya? I've had a pretty good week this week. I hope you were able to have a good week as well. Remember, one step forward, one step up. You don't have to sit in the darkness forever. Sometimes it takes a little work from yourself to get there. I know. Work for ourselves is a little bit hard, but I believe in you guys. One step forward, one step up. Yep, I have started talking and Princess has joined us. I don't know if she'll be very vocal. She's checking out some of the stuff on the floor, and I've packed the sewing table with all sorts of stuff so she can't jump up there. So who knows if we'll see her tonight or not. How are you doing? I know I already led with how are you doing, but that's like a reset word. How you doing? Has everybody been nice to everybody you meet? It's important to be nice. Be nice and be kind. You don't know the fights that other people are having. Okay, so we've gone over the admin stuff. Good week, good end of month close. Finished up the last of the entries last week. Things are rolling pretty good at work. Enjoying the freer time that I have because, you know, I'm back to having a normal lunch break because, you know, year-end close is a little bit crazy. So it took up a little bit of my time, so I actually had time to stitch at lunch. So let's look at our progress report. The at work lunch break stitch has been this pattern from Lizzie Kate. Forgive, move on, and think happy thoughts. I think last time I showed you I had stitched all of 4 of the little flowers. Well, with year-end clothes being done, let's move that so it doesn't get knocked over. Don't knock over the trash. There's nothing in there you want. If there's a loud bang, the cat's in the trash. Alright, so this week I did a whole heck of a lot of the green border down there, and the next green border, and the white border with the little pink flowers. Did all of this wonderful stuff and this wonderful stuff, and I finished off the thoughts and move on. So I just need to finish off the P and the Y for happy, and then all I've got left to do is fill in all the little cute motifs that Lizzie Kate puts on her things to just kind of fill it out, and then I will be done with this cute pattern and the entire 3 Little Words series. So that's exciting. Talked a little bit. My best friend thought maybe that a wall hanging would be a great finish for it. So maybe I'll have to bribe her to take care of it because she does all the best quilting and sewing. I'm just an amateur. I can make one thing, project bags, and one thing only, and the project bags aren't always super amazing. So there's that. But anyway, so that is my project on this at work break project, and I'm really quite pleased with it. Just a couple minutes a day, and I really made some progress on it instead of playing Animal Crossing or something. Will you stop it, cat? Hey. Cats, man. The other stitchy project, you'll never guess who came out to play. Go ahead, guess. Guess. No. No. Oh, I think I heard one of you shout her name out. I worked just a little tiny bit on a Celtic Christmas. This is a lavender and lace project pattern. I nearly said a lavender and lace problem. It's not a problem. It's a fantastic project. So that is what she will look like. And here she is on my scroll. I know it's been an awfully long time since I've showed her to you, but I kind of worked down in this direction and I was filling in all the reds. So all the reds to about here are complete. And so I was just filling in the golds as I went along. And then there is a little bit of a yellow ribbon that goes along the very hem of her dress, as you can see in the picture. So I still have that to do, but for the most part, I'm kind of, well, I'm not done. It's not finished because there's still a lot of gold that I need to put in. But I was really quite pleased with that. I kind of sat and played with that on Saturday afternoon. stitched and watched football and stitched and watched a little more football and did a little this and a little that and, you know, whatever. So it wasn't like it was dedicated stitching time, but I did get several lengths of floss put into my Celtic Noel. She's being stitched on a 28 count. Oh goodness, I forget the name of the blue. I don't know, guys. It might be written down somewhere. Chances are it might not be. But I bought it at Shepherd's Bush a long time ago. Well, when I decided I was going to start the project. So there she is. I'm really quite pleased with the progress I've made on her this week. No purchases as far as cross-stitch stuff goes. So I have some stuff to show to our Stitching in Shadows Dree. She asked about Floss Storage, so I'm going to show her how I store my mess of things and, you know, just show how I do it. So we'll be back in just a sec. You know, I'm going to lead off with a side note. You know how annoying it is? I tried to plug in my little fairy lights back there, and the fuse blew when I went to plug it in. The second time I've ever plugged them in, and the fuse blew. So annoyed. I still have the extra fuses attached to this end of the lights and the fuses in that end of the light. So I'm going to have to do some poking around, seeing if I can figure out exactly how to make it work. So, Miss Andrea, this is how I store my flosses. It's a simple Ziploc snack baggie with a 3x5 card in it, labels the DMC and the number, and then the skein goes in there. Some of these I have far more than one skein. Can I find one really quickly? No, of course not. Oh, here we are. So like this one, for some reason I have a lot of skeins of 869. Is that really 869? It really is. I can read through the back of the thing. And so I just store them in here. And in here is a box that I bought at IKEA. It is meant for socks or ties or something. So you can see that I've got 2 columns of them, but there's supposed to be another divider like this that goes in the middle of these. But I just left that other one out, and it works perfectly fine for me. It really does. Now, I know she mentioned that she stores her Stitching in Shadows. Drea stores her flosses similar to this, and she complained that it was hard to decide how to switch colors out because, you know, you get all the beautiful Victoria Motto sampler flosses, and you want to swap some of those out for the DMCs, but when you store them like this, I will admit it is hard to figure out exactly what color is where when you're looking to swap something out. So the other tool I would have to say that you really need when you're doing color swaps and not bobbinating. I've always felt that bobbinating was a bit of a waste of time, and I hated the little kinks that it got on. But what you need is one of the wonderful DMC needlework thread color cards. Now mine is a really old one, and it just has the printed colors on it, and it doesn't have all the new colors or any of all the new things, so maybe I should invest in a new one with the actual flosses. But with one of these, you can see how they're arranged kind of by color and color family. So if you've got a beautiful, I don't know, green Victoria Motto sampler that you want to replace or use, or you've got an ugly DMC that you want to, you know, replace with something, you can look it up, hold your threads against this. It gives you the numbers so you kind of know where to go looking for that color. And that would be my suggestion as to how to store and get a slightly easier way to decide how you want to sub out some of your color works. Let me show you one more idea here in a sec. Let me go put my box back and my color card back. And anyway, just hold on. So this monster bag is the bag with my chatelaine in it. And I haven't worked on my chatelaine for a very long time. One of these days, maybe I'll get back to you. But when you purchase it from the kit from European Cross Stitch, Cindy sorts them all out, puts all your things in, like, see the floss away bags. all your specialty threads, whatnot, floss away bags, and then puts them on one of these wonderful giant rings. It's a great idea. I saw that mentioned or suggested in the comments on your video. So, you know, floss away bags are a viable option. The thing I'm not a big fan of for these bags is how the hole for the ring is over here in the banding for the zipper part. I know Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She offers a service via her Storyteller collection where she will kit projects up for you, or you can contact her and talk to her, and I believe she will make up bags for you that have a grommet. It's been a while since I've seen one, but I believe hers are long with like the zipper on one end and the grommet on the other end, so that you can put your ring through the grommet up here, and that takes care of it fairly well. So that is another option, and she gives you labels so you can label all your things. She'd probably send you, I don't know, I shouldn't speak for you, but I don't believe it's out of the realm of possibilities. She'd probably send you some blank ones and some blank stickers so you could put all of your beautiful Victoria Motto Sampler flosses in a Storyteller collection type bag. And since it's out, this is where I'm at on my chatelaine. This is Violet Garden. One of these days I'll get back to it. One of these days. I'm in no hurry. There is that. That's all I have to say on suggestions and ideas for floss storage or other ways to do it. So, guess what time it is? It's time for Oh Yarn. Nothing super exciting going on here. I'm just working away happily on my my two projects, a little bit here and a little bit there. The first project I'll show you is the Mountain Cowl from Knitting Pure and Simple. This pattern is available on Ravelry and it is a free pattern, so everybody go pick up one of these. Put that back here. Let's fish this guy out. This has become my church knitting that I take to church just because the pattern is actually fairly easy, and once I look at it, it's the same all the way around, so I just have to take notice of where my beginning and end marker is. So that super bright pink ring is my start and end, and I just added another set of the mountains. So from here all the way up here, that was my church knitting. That's what I did. Takes me a little over 2 hours. I usually have to come home and finish up the last 2 rows. I can get 7.5, no, 6.5, halfway through the 7th row. 6.5 done in the 2 hours that I'm at church. So there is this wonderful, beautiful thing. It is being done in Cultured Pearl is the name of the colorway. It's a Yowza by Miss Babs. So there is that thing. I think it's beautiful. I'm really excited for it to get finished. I'm still a little worried. I may have cast on too many repeats when I started, so I'm a little fearful that it's going to be more of a drapey cowl instead of a hug your neck cowl. So nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of the way it's going to be. So let's tuck that away. All right. And then the next project that I am working on is the Winter Brunch. Here we go, the Winter Brunch shawl by Laura Chau. It's big, it's beautiful. One thing that's really driving me nuts on this pattern is I can't put in like lace stitch markers. I'm holding this Wave It back so you can't really see what's going on. Okay, anyway, you can kind of see the repeat box, how it moves along. So I can't just put my stitch markers in to make sure that I've got it going the right way every single repeat, because that's just not working properly because it moves along every other repeat. And that's annoying, guys. Don't do that when you write patterns. Okay, so here we are. I've got this massive blanket o' death. Okay, it's not really a blanket o' death. Let's show you the right side. This is going to be iffy. This is juggling. Okay, don't lose any stitches, we hope. We'll go like this. So here is my wonderful, working on super basic cables. Well, I think I'm going to have to stand up so I can kind of see what you guys are seeing. They're just really super basic cables. It's just a 1/1 cross. So far, I think it's going pretty well. I'm being really careful. I haven't noticed a spot where I've really messed it up. So there you go. And then there's kind of the beautiful colors of this. This is another Miss Babs colorway. It is Fountain Grass, and the base is K2. So Miss Babs refers to it as a chunky or a bulky. Maybe she refers to it as a bulky. And no. It's one way or the other, because either Miss Babs refers to it as a chunky or a bulky, and on Ravelry they have either chunky or bulky. But whatever one has, the other one doesn't have. So I'm kind of having to guess to see, try to decide which is which. So there is that. That monster lives in my clear bag because we have a clear bag policy at the football and basketball stadiums this year. Clear bag policy going into effect next year for all of the other sporting events, so be prepared. Get your clear plastic bags. Okay, that was a lot of stuff. Also, no Yarnquisitions, go me. We're 14 days into January and I haven't bought anything yet. Yes! Victory! It's fantastic. Okay, let's do something we haven't done for a very long time. Let's look at the Flubees. I know, I gave Flubees up for about 6 months just because I was totally and completely overwhelmed, and I know I missed several people during that time period, and I apologize profusely to each and every one of you. I'm having the same problem that a lot of you other viewers, watchers, creators are having, in that I cannot watch all of you. And that really hurts me because I want to be able to watch all of you, because I really feel like everybody deserves a chance to be heard. And everybody's enthusiasm for their crafts should be embraced, right? So I have a couple dozen, maybe a dozen. I'm not counting. I don't know how many I have. I have a page and one. A page and one. So, very few notes. Like usual, there will be links to all of their channels below. I still have like 6 or 7 more in my watch later list that I haven't quite got to. So we'll just start with this batch of Flubees. You guys go check them out. Be sure to like and comment and love on the people who really speak to you. Alright, the first person I met is, we remember how bad my handwriting was, right? We totally remember how bad my handwriting was. Launi Benton. I'm going to give it a guess because heaven only knows what I wrote. She's from northern Arizona, and she starts us off with the Know Your Needle Worker tag. 1,000 Needles is a stitcher from Denmark, and she starts us off with a whip parade. CZookStitch. She's looking for some stitchy friends because she doesn't have any around her neck of the woods, and she also shares her whip parade. Sid's Stitching Room. She starts us off with the Know Your Needle Worker tag. She's a multi-crafter, and she says she's been stitching for over 40 years. So you guys know how that goes. I need to stop leaning on the table because my the table wobbles, the tripod wobbles, and since I've got stabilizer on my face, that makes the background wobble. If you're ever wondering why the background was wobbling behind some people, it's because their stabilizer is on and it's on their face. So it's stabilizing the face, and therefore the background's going crazy. Alright, Gables Stitcher. She's returning to stitching after a few years away. She loves to read. She worked at the House of Seven Gables for several years, which is why she is the Gable Stitcher. Artful Stitch is an Aussie from Queensland, and she gives us a bit of a whip parade and some of her finished objects. Stitching in the Barn presents a list of things that she has learned from Flosstube. Delightful Stitcher, check her out. B Stitchy gives us a great tutorial on the double Jessica stitches. She doesn't give us a promise for any additional videos, but this tutorial on Jessica stitches, it was excellent. So definitely go check her out for the excellent tutorial. And then I met Mr. Cross Stitch. He sort of gives us a lovely introduction to himself and talks more about embroidery than he does cross stitch, which he gives himself a little bit of a bad time about. But it is a very, very nice intro into who he is as a stitcher, and he does promise more videos. So go check him out. As usual, I'll put links in the description box below. Just click the show more button and it should open up and you can go over to their channels, check out their videos, and like I say, like and comment and subscribe and ring the little bell for the people that you really love. So, and a big thank you from my friends over at Roll Initiative. They were so appreciative for those of you who wandered over and gave them a look and did subscribe and check them out, so they're super excited. So thank you everybody for supporting my friends over at Roll Initiative. News, notes, nonsense. Where to begin? Shall we begin with the crazy HOA lady making problems when there's no problems? Because this is a popular discussion. Let's make a problem where there's no problem. Today's non-problem is parking. We don't have a problem with parking. We have plenty of parking out there in the parking lot. I've never had a trouble finding parking for my car. Granted, I have the covered thing that's assigned to me, so that's not a problem. But when I look out my window, because my windows overlook the parking lot, so I watch the parking lot a lot, not because I'm a creeper, but just because it's in my worldview. And there's usually plenty of cars underneath the covered carports. Makes sense. And then the next row of parking out is usually fairly full because that's where most of the residents with, you know, 2 cars, they park the next aisle out, and that's fine. Across from that is another, you know, 2 aisles. There's like a little green strip and then more parking. You guys can't, I'm gesturing out that way. Anyway, parking strip, more parking, and across another driveway is the last bit of parking. So we've got 4 rows of parking, right? First row, car parts. First row, carports. Second row, mostly residents. Third row, maybe 2 to 5 cars on any given day. You know, the place where I look out most, and maybe 6 or 7 in the part that's closer to the A, B, and C buildings. And then across from that, 1 car, 2 cars. There's tons of free space out there right close to the park. Tons of free space out there close to the park. Well, I don't know why parking is a problem, but now we have to register 2 cars per apartment with the HOA, and no more than 2, and it can't be like a big old work truck, because heaven knows it has to be a car or a truck, a consumer-sized truck, or a minivan, or, you know, something that a consumer and, you know, family type car would drive. Parking's not a problem. Anyway, and all guests need to park out on the street because we're not going to have any more guest parking in the parking lot. This is not a problem because there's always parking in the parking lot. There's always parking out there in the parking lot. But we're not going to print stickers, so we can't monitor right away. Oh, but you know, you can tell your guests that they can park in your carport spot, so you can move your car out to your car you know, into the parking lot that's still not full, so your guests could park in your parking lot. Otherwise, we'll have the guests park out on the street. Okay. Street parking is always crazy full because you know who parks on the street? The residents who live on the east side of the building tend to park over on the street. Why do they do this? Because it's closer for them to come down the stairs on the east side of the building and just walk out to the street, get in their car, and go. It's much closer to them. The street parking is always full. Always. It's crazy over there. Won't lie to you. So I don't know. Is she going to make all the residents who park on the east side of the street park in the parking lot now so my guests can park on the street? I don't know. Oh, she said that we're not going to monitor the cars that are parked in the carports. I mentioned that, right? So if you have guests, you park out in the lot and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, this still doesn't make any sense because this is not a problem. So my happy little civil disobedient self is like, fine. I think my 2 cars registered to this unit are going to be my sister's car, because she comes over here a lot, and either my mom's car or my dad's car, because they come and visit a lot. Or maybe it'll be my best friend's car, because she comes over and visits me quite often. So we'll have 2 cars registered to my unit that don't actually live here, and I can continue to park in my carport because carports aren't going to be monitored. Has anybody found the thought fallacy in that in our HOA president's thing? Yes, and I just, you know, so we're headed for civil disobedience here, people, as far as parking goes. Wasn't that fun? Let's see. Other goings on. I have the bestest best friend in the world. You can fight me about it. She was at Costco today and they were putting out their shepherd's pies. I love the shepherd's pies. They're absolutely delicious. I haven't seen shepherd's pie all winter season, so I said, buy me 2. And she bought me 2. So I gave her money. She gave me shepherd's pies. I have shepherd's pies in the freezer. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm going to have shepherd's pie for like lunches for 8 days. One of those pies will feed me for 8 meals. So excited. And I don't know why they stopped making them in summer. Yeah, I know it's a comfort food and you have to turn on your oven, but there's some of us who hate to cook and rely on semi-prepared meals so we don't starve to death. But anyway, shepherd's pie, woo! Bestest friend in the whole wide world, woo! What else is going on? World of Warcraft. I signed up. Hopefully I'll be accepted to a group that's just going to do normal and heroic 1 night a week raiding. So I've been working on getting my my tune all up to snuff on that. I have my gear that I need to improve. It's really sad. Look there. I know I should be... Okay, most of my gear is like a 370 or above. I only have one 370. Everything else is 375, 380. I've got actually one piece of gear that's a 390. I have no idea how I got the 390 since I don't actually do dungeons or anything. So from the content that I can do by my lone self, because I'm too shy to actually ask for help on Ard where my good friends are, and you know, any of the Ardians would be happy to help me out, but I'm too shy and too... I do it myself. Ha ha ha, I don't want to be a bother. You know, anyway. So, yeah, there's a ring, there's a trinket, and my my weapon. That's my stick. All could stand to be upgraded before the new raid drops. Everybody else is totally burnt out on raiding from Old Year, and I'm like, I get to join for the new one, yay! Maybe I'll get to go murder some NPCs, woo! Speaking of which, I went on Drunk Raid this last Friday night, and they decided to raid Borealis, which is the new Alliance main city, because we were going to go do the baiting the enemy achievement, which is you go to the opposite faction's main city hub and fish up a special type of fish. So we went there, we were all in war mode, you know, doing our thing, fishing. We murdered a few poor people who happened to wander by. We murdered all the NPCs in the area. We fished, we had a good time, and then we decided we were going to get for the Horde achievement. So off we went. I got stuck in Stormwind after we killed Anduin Rin. That was fun. That was a good time. So we did that, and then I got stuck in the courtyard after we killed Anduin. It wouldn't let me hearth or move or do anything, so I had to be summoned to Ironforge, where we took out the Council of Three. That was good fun. We had to do them twice because a couple of our people got lost and or died fighting players on the way over there. So we murdered some more players because, hey, why not? After a while, the level 20s figured out not to come into the room while we were doing this thing. It was weird. We never got like a whole raid put together to come after us. But whatever. And then we went out to, Darnassus, the burned tree. And we set back time, and then we went and murdered, God, what is her name? Malfurion's whiny girlfriend of 1,000 bajillion years. What's her name? Tyrande. We murdered her just for funsies. We didn't need it for the achievement, but everybody was like, only swears, you know. So we did that, and then we went out to the Exeter door. Oh, my goodness, guys. Seriously, pronunciation, not my thing. Not very good at it. Brain and mouth going at different speeds. Doesn't work out very well, as I'm sure all of you know. Anyway, out to the Exeter. Did in Mr. Prophet Villain, which I was sad for because I kind of like Mr. Prophet Villain. And then I got the achievement. Yay! I also doubled like my total number of honorable kills. Actually, it was more than doubled because I think I had like between 3 and 6 honorable kills before I started the night, and I wound up with 26 after the night. So yay! I don't know what it all means, but as soon as the raid was over, I turned off war mode because I totally am not into PvP. Unless I'm with a bunch of mythic raiders who just, you know, kick butt. Then it's fun. When it's me all alone, it's not that fun because I'm not that good. I wonder if not that good should be trademarked. Probably. So there you have it. My adventures in World of Warcraft. And there might be some more if I really do make the normal heroic team and get to go dungeon or raid crawling again. So I'm kind of excited about that because I don't know. I don't have a lot of friends to play with on WoW who are there at the same time I am, who are doing the same sorts of things that I would like to do. So I've just been soloing all the content that is available for a solo person, which means no dungeons, no raids. I don't even do the island expeditions because that puts you in a random group, and that's still too... I don't like random groups. It's too stressful to me. I don't like it. Okay, so that's a lot of World of Warcraft that you guys don't always care about. Alright, Princess, we got anything else? No? She hasn't barfed on the carpet all week. Winner there. I guess that's everything. Thank you so much, you guys, for all of you who have subscribed, for all of you who have commented and liked my videos. I sure do appreciate it. If you want to help me out a little bit more, ring that bell to be notified as when I post a new video. New year, new me, trying to get back on the doing the things and posting very regularly. Hopefully I can keep up with that. I'm not doing the play. I'm sure I mentioned that. Otherwise I would be neck deep in play right now, but I was just too tired to even fathom it. I think that's one of the signs that I'm getting old, is when I'm like, I can't even give the time to running around the backstage at the theater, even though I love running around backstage at the theater, but it was more exhausting than, than worthwhile. So there's that. I hope you have a good week. Be nice and be kind to everybody you meet. It costs you nothing, and it just might make their day. Even though you might want to murder some people, believe me, we've got the very, very fun merge going into work, and every day there's some dude that rushes the right lane and merges in at the very last minute, and that puts me in a murderous rage almost instantaneously, but I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be a mass murderer, you guys. I'm trying really, really. Right then. Nothing like talking about going into a murderous rage because of what the drivers on the street are doing, and then having the video recorder stop and the thingy flash up that says, "Memory card full!" I was going to delete a bunch of those files last weekend, and I forgot. Oh well. Win some, lose some. They're gone now. So, the end of the bit. Don't go into a murderous rage. Be nice to the people around you. And I hope you get plenty of time to stitch and or knit. Or, you know, whatever makes your little heart happy this week. Unless it's murdering. Murdering is bad, you guys. No happy hearts in murdering. Unless it's NPCs in the WoW, then we're all good. Okay, hope you get plenty of time to stitch or knit and craft and create this week. I hope that frog stays far, far away from you. Run him over on the freeway if you see him or something. You know, just, no thank you, Mr. Frog. Be kind. Love you guys. Hugs and stitches. Bye.